Oh, it's all right for me to laugh. 15 minutes, though. 16 minutes late. Here's what happened. I thought I'd said it for a different time. That's all that happened. Today's been a bit of a nightmare. I mean, it's 1 o'clock in the morning. This will be about hour, maybe hour and a half, because I've got work to do afterwards, which is nice. It's you know what? This is actually. I'm going to get some water while I'm telling you this little one. I've told you before, but I remember when I was 35 and I rocked up at a rehab centre. Her legs fell off. She died. You know, I rocked up at a rehab centre and it was one that was excellent, which you won't hear me say very often. Only about that one out of the 20 or so I sampled in my career, in my tour, in my, my late 20s, early 30s were essentially like a tour of rehabs. Yeah, I don't advise it. Well, unless you need it, but if you need it, don't do a tour, just do one good one. Anyway, I was carried into that place. I was literally carried into that treatment centre. I'd had my last speedball, which is heroin and crack, in the Portaloo. There was a construction site opposite the rehab centre, and there was a Portaloo there, so I just sneaked into that. And they say in rehab centres, you know, don't use on the day you arrive. If you could do that, you wouldn't need rehab. It's the most ridiculous stipulation, or should I say the most ridiculous suggestion. Don't use anything on the day you arrive. Oh, so you're going to wake up in a high pressure, high stress situation. Like, I'm going to rehab now. I'm going to get my brain melted. It's going to be group therapy for 5-6 hours every day. Manny moo, bless you, son. Bless you. I feel like I've let people down with the weight and all that. So that's very kind of you. Thank you, John. Hope you're all right, mate. Hello, Raver's Revenge. Been a while. Good to see you, Squire. Absolutely lovely. But thank you, John. Thank you very much. So basically, you are going to use up until the last point. My mother was in the car while I was putting it together, and I couldn't, because of her car, I couldn't lay out flat enough to get a groin hit, so I had to go and use these toilets. But I was in such a mess. It wasn't even the speedball, it was just me. And they carried me in there. There's a reason I'm telling you that, and it's completely it's disappeared. Oh yeah. So that was the first time in about 35, 15, 16, 17, about 18 years where I was actually considering a life of abstinence from all substances, alcohol, caffeine, everything, you name it, just an abstinent, clean life, which I don't live these days. The abstinent thing, it didn't work out for me, but I'm certainly not a street junkie, although I can fuck up occasionally, as most of you know I did a while back, which I'll get to actually, because I think it's affecting scrub stock, but we'll talk about that a bit later. And I remember saying to the boss of this treatment centre, who's still my NA sponsor to this day, and I love it, I love the bloke, I said to him, what am I going to do with 24 hours a day? Because, you know, I was about a week before I was leaving. I'd done 3 months in there, and most rehabs I last about 2-3 days. Seriously, you know, as soon as that withdrawal starts kicking in proper, I'm like, actually, I've had a slight change in mind. I think there's something I want a little bit more than this situation. Ta-ta. But I'd actually put my hands up and thought, just listen for once. Listen and do what you're told. They might be wrong, but everything else you've tried has ended you up nearly dead from using and the dangers of the petty criminal lifestyle that surrounds it. and I was about a week before leaving, and I was 10 weeks clean off of everything, including the subbies. And I said, I'm seriously concerned. There is a nice denouement to this story. There is actually a moment of inspiration here, a moment of motivation. I said, I'm actually concerned with. He said, what are your concerns with when you get out of here and this environment? I said, well, I'm going to stay in Bury St Edmunds for a year. I'll get a little flat here. And I, you know, there was 2 NA meetings a day in Bury St Edmunds because of the treatment centre. I said, so I can carry on with NA. They do an aftercare program at the rehab centre. So twice a week you can go back to the rehab for an hour and touch base. And I said, so it won't be like black and white. It'll be like a bit of grey in between. I said, but my real concern is 24 hours a day. You know, for the last 18 odd years, I'd wake up and, to quote a spiritualized lyric, I'd take drugs and spend the rest of the day waiting for them to wear off. You know, I would just be in a continual state of demi-sleep, you know, just gouching, and time flies when you're having none. Time flies when you're having no time. You're just and I said, you know, I've got things I like doing. I like reading. I like writing. You know, I said, I'm going to start doing stand-up comedy. And he said this to me, right? Now, imagine saying this to someone who's never known this kind of life. He said to me, and he shouldn't have said this because my ego doesn't need any more inflating. He said, you've shown me some quite special things in your time here, in the way you've approached this course. He said, and what I'm going to suggest to you is going to seem very, very unlikely, but I want you to trust me. And for me, I found it very hard to trust adults. Might go back to abuse, could come from anywhere, but especially males as well, adult males. The loss of a father, sexual abuse as a child. You know, this is what creates us. This is what creates us. It's those things that make us who we are. And so he'd done a lot of work on me regarding trust. And he said, I want you to trust me. He said, if you keep doing the things you've been doing while you've been here, and it's the ones I always chuck out at you people, acceptance, gratitude, and honesty. And they're not passive things. Well, by the way, people, I've got loads of clips. This ain't just going to be a gibber stream. I've got a varting tartar. Have you got a gypsy vart? I've got a load of clips along there, and entertainment will occur. But acceptance, gratitude, and honesty aren't passive. And this. I've told you a lot of this plenty of times, but this was from him. He said, you don't just do it and you've got it. He said, you have to be actively accepting. You have to be actively grateful. And you have to actively be honest. And mainly with yourself. And I really spent a lot of time thinking about those things. And he said, do that. And he said, I'll give you about 3 months before there ain't enough hours in the day. And I sort of laughed. You know, when I rocked up to that place about a week into it, right, I was yellow, proper glow in the day glow yellow. Like my eyes were yellow. I think I weighed about 60 odd kilos. I was a fucking mess, 6'2". And I remember I was sitting there rattling my bollocks off right in the peak of the acute phase. They had a bin next to me so I could puke into it while I was sitting there just going every couple of seconds. And you have to go through all the admin, and the admin is with local authority people, because it was a charity, this place. They're not addicts, they're not doctors, they're not shrinks or anything, they're just pen pushers. And so she's sitting there going, okay, is that Christopher with a C or a K? What? Oh, yeah. Oh, I'm always being asked that. And as I'm sort of going, yeah, it's just Chris. And like my ribs just cracking where I've been dry heaving for hours. And she said, you know what? She said, I've tried to give up smoking. She actually said this. I was doing a gram a day of white number 4 heroin, right? That's a substantial habit. No, that's not some weird gutter pride. It's easy to take loads of drugs if you've got access to them. But it was a substantial habit. And she went, it's the kicker at the end that got me. She went, I've tried to give up smoking. And she went, so I know where you're coming from. And I remember thinking, yeah, I've got a fucking clue. What a bizarre thing to say. All those people giving up smoking, I've seen them there rattling. Oh, I'm rattling. And when he said, I'll give you 3 months before there ain't enough hours in the day, I just thought, nah, I'm very touched. I'm honoured that you'd suggest such a thing, that you think that I'm going to rebuild my life to the point where I'm busy and there's not enough time. I said, but I think there's going to be a lot of sitting around, a lot of twiddling my thumbs, and I'm just remembering it now. Actually, I'm getting that feeling. It was I just got it then. It was quite a sort of a falling feeling, because I suddenly thought this giving up drugs lark is going to be a lot harder than it has been in rehab, because in rehab they're on you 24/7. You share your residential situation is with other people in the treatment center, and everyone's on everyone so they can grass them up in group therapy. You start at 9 o'clock in the morning and you do an hour group therapy, then you do a goals group, which is individual therapy where everyone else watches you, then someone's life story, which is a page a year. Most people in there are about 30, 35, so 35 pages are some of the most boring stories. Mine was like a novel. Mine was wicked. It was brilliant. And I'll be honest with you, it was terrible, because I didn't write what I should have done. I should have written what they asked. But I ain't ready for all that. Yeah, I'll just tell some funny stories. If you go to my Substack, that ain't bad at all, is it? But it was just like that. I was just telling funny junk stories. Everyone was cracking up. Well, the therapist stopped it. At one point, I'll never forget, Alice, her name was, she said, actually, and she looked at the other therapist, and I could tell that this was weird, and no one's life story had been interrupted before. She just went, actually, can I just speak to you outside? And they went out there with them, and someone said, I remember this girl, Anna, all broken and lovely she was, Anna, dead now. She went, they don't. Thank you, Mr. Natras. She went, that they don't like you entertaining us with your stories. In a way, it was the best review I'd ever had. And I knew that's what I was doing, because I didn't want to tell them about myself. I'd only been there like a week. I was shitting myself, literally and figuratively. And they come back in and they took me outside, and they said that I had to do it again. Which was a shame, because the best bits were still coming. I didn't get to having sex with a disabled girl on acid, which was like, the strong ender. But if you're interested in that, it's in my story 7 Spastics, which is on my Substack, link in the description. But I said I suddenly realised when I didn't have that, that support network that Rehab is, 24/7 around people in the same boat as you. My life was just going to be me sitting there thinking about taking drugs for the rest of my life. Now, here's the good bit. It took a bit longer than 4 months, to be honest with you, but there is not enough hours in the day for my life. And there hasn't been since I got to about 37. There just is not enough time. And that's a good thing. And that doesn't mean that I don't rest. I've meditated today, which is doing nothing. That's all meditating is. Don't let those fucking hippies complicate the issue. Just doing nothing. I've done that today. I've done 30 minutes. But I've also lifted weights today. I've also done some work on my novel today. I've done some wicked work on my novel. I have to say it was amazing. Oh, what? You haven't heard about my novel? Link in the description to my Substack. There's a teaser on there. I went and saw my girlfriend and I gave her some sensuality that she deserved. And she reciprocated with some incredible sensuality. What else have I done today? I've done my washing. Look, I washed my whites. Got my whites washed. Don't worry, it's been strategically hung up so that no old man's pants are visible. But done my whites. Done a day's work, keeping my business going. And after this stream, I've got a bit of marketing work to do. I've got a video to make. And I still want to do some work on my novel. Slight spoiler alert. That fella, if you haven't read the story, this is going to be very bizarre. And if you have read it, it's going to be more bizarre. But the arse pussy fella, he turns up later in the novel. I've kind of ruined that bit. But I wanted to get that all sorted out. So, it's now 1:15. I've got work to do and I want to work on my novel. Now, I'm not moaning. I'm not complaining. I'm celebrating. I'm not sort of like, there's not enough time. Blah, 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 blah. There's never going to be enough time because you're going to die. The clock's ticking. The clock's, once your mother spits you out, and go. God presses the clock. And that's it. Even if you have, you manage to avoid high risks and illnesses and whatever, you definitely die. That's going to happen. Who wants to live forever? But as I said in my video yesterday, not the stream, the video, death is what gives life value. If we lived forever, what would be the point of anything? Because you could achieve anything and everything. It's almost like the 100 Monkeys thing. It's like, if you give enough chimpanzees enough typewriters and enough time, they'll write the complete works of Shakespeare. Well, if you give a human an infinite life, they'll get everything done at some point. So it's actually a celebration. I'm glad that I'll go to bed tonight not having got everything I wanted to get done, because it means I've got things to do tomorrow. And it means even at my advanced vintage, I've still got the motivation to get off my arse and get things done. I was thinking before this stream, fuck me, it's getting around to 1 o'clock. And I thought maybe I'll do an hour and a half. I don't want to be doing 2.5 hours and be up all the night again. And then as I was thinking that, I was just cleaning my teeth at the back. I remember when I first started streaming and thinking, an hour. What am I going to talk about for an hour? And now an hour ain't nowhere near enough. An hour's not enough. I've barely introduced barely said hello. I haven't said hello to anyone yet. This is my sort of introduction. And so it's good. Make things happen in your life. Make your life happen. But if you want more of that kind of chat, watch the video I made yesterday, simply called How to Enjoy Your Life. Let's get some hellos in because there's loads of OG scrubs on the firm. Right, while there's 90 of you here, I've got a funny feeling that Scrub Stock 1 was pre-diazepam gate. and I lost about half of my live viewers. I used to stream to, 250 people a day, and we're down now to a good day is about 150. We average around 110. So I know I had a week off the internet because I got a ban and then my computer didn't work, so it was more than a week. But the last SUBSTACK, and if you don't know, SUBSTACK is the Scrubs Music Festival. Any music you've ever made, you pick one tune, email it to me, and we play them all. And the last one went on for nearly 4 hours, and it was brilliant. So far, I've now had 6 people send in tunes. That's rain stopping play. So I have put it back a bit. I think I said yesterday it's now going to be, I think the 14th, did we decide? Let's have a look. Yeah, the 14th of next month. So the 14th of September, which is interestingly a day after the Italian elections where the far right are just going to sweep up. So glorious. It's going to be a musical celebration of part of the end of globalism and the rise of populism, nationalism in Europe. But unless I get, it's got to be about 13, 14 tunes at least, because, 5 people's music is not a festival. A digital music festival's got to be more than 5. So if you are, give me a 1 in the chat if you are going to drop something in and you just haven't sorted it yet. You know how to do it. You send your music, MP4 or a YouTube link or an MP3. I don't know. You probably do. Chris at chrisdangerfield.com and just put SUBSTACK in the subject. I mean, it would be a terrible shame if rain did stop play, but I reckon 10. I reckon if 10 people, I'll be putting a bit of music in. But if we can get 10 in at least, well, I'll do it. But it'll be a bit of a shame otherwise. It's almost like a symbolic failure of my diazepam gate. But Yeah, funny you should say that, Johnny. I've got a little bit to talk about that today. Johnny says, according to the BBC, black students take on more student debt than other Americans, and it's white people's fault. Yeah. Well, Biden is writing off $10 billion of student debt. $10 billion. This is communism. I've called them the United States of Communism for a while now. This is what they do. Oh, well, the midterms around the corner. Maybe give out some free stuff. It's never free. It's never free. Good Lord. Everyone should read the Mises breakdown of the rudiments and fundamentals of the failure of the socialist economic system, because without free markets, you can't regulate value. That's the end of it. And having been a communist, that used to fuck me right off. And then you get all panicky, and then you start talking about the Labour theory of value, and then and every commie that I've pulled that one on, they just dodge it. They dodge it because they know you've just pulled the rug out from underneath them. And they start going. I mean, today, most people who call themselves communists haven't read it, any of it. Maybe the Communist Manifesto, but you can read that on the toilet, which is, kind of appropriate. And you can wipe your ass with it as well. Anyway, hello, it's a duck, Mr. Natras, Arius, hello, Tito, hello, JP, 42, Pax Max wrote me the weirdest message, man. It was so obscure. And I wrote back and said, Pax Max, mate, I love you and that, but I haven't got a clue what you're talking about. And then he wrote back and said, yeah, I sent it to the wrong person or something like that. It was really weird. I mean, Pax Max can say some weird stuff. So I thought maybe I'm just, good Lord, I haven't seen this. Hang on a minute, people. So I had this thing up about, sorry for the, the grift, entropy up there, super chat down there. I've got this article up about Biden dishing out this 10 billion in student debts. I mean, it's communism, midterm giveaway. This is a, you know, look how it's all panning out. FBI, the FBI with their twos and blues. Oh, how did those helicopters get there that so quickly? You know, all that happening. The free money for students. Yeah, no, you don't need to pay it back. You'll be all right. Oh, and it's all for the people in the public sector. Lovely, lovely, lovely. There'll be more. There'll be more. It's incredible. But I've just been caught out because there's a video that started playing. You know, when you look at an article and the video of it plays, and then the next video plays. I've just seen this, and it's blown my mind. So I'm going to share it with thee. Let me know that you've got audio, but this looks fucking terrifying. Hang on a minute. I haven't seen this, by the way. I've just seen the still, but mutage. It looks like it might be worth a little watch. It's only 44 seconds. Here we go. Hold on tight. Let yourself feel the boogie. Check it. So we've got some kind of oh my god, that looks like a rich man's yacht, doesn't it? That's the old sort of, oh my god, see you later, Epstein. Oh god, look at the dinghy of desperation, empty, unloved, unneeded. And the sea a vile thing. Look at it swallowing it up. Never to be seen again. Look at that. Look. Wasn't that dark? Wasn't that dark? There's something so dark about the sea, and I don't just mean the colour of it, but ooh. What's that place? What's it called? The Mariana Trench or something? It's like the deepest place ever on the planet. I don't like to think about what lives down there. They've probably got hair, water hair. I suppose that's what you were thinking too. Anyway, where are we? Hello, Tony Introvert. How's the baby food thing going on? You've lost me. I tried to make a baby earlier. Hello, Tristan. Nice to see you. Aramas. Arius, I think I already said hello to you. What's the name? Hello, Matthew. Hello, Sean. Seeking Truths is on the firm. Hello, Andrew. Andrew was talking to me about fucking energy prices in England. I can't remember the numbers, but he said it's gone up like it's, if I remember rightly, correct me, Andrew, as you probably will need to, but it's gone from something like 70 quid to 300 quid, he said. It's just ridiculous. Andrew was saying that he reckons there'll be bodies piling up this winter in England because old people just can't afford. I mean, old people can't afford to heat their homes with the usual prices. My mother's like one of those old babushkas. She sits there in like 30 jumpers with a coat on. When we were kids, do you remember the Parkers in the 70s? You know, the old snorkel Parkers with the orange lining. When we were kids, if we said we were cold, like it was only a little 2 up, 2 down, middle of terrace, and I'd go, I'm cold. My dad would say, no shit. My dad would go, put a coat on. Put a coat on Tuesday evening, about to have dinner. So I would put my coat, my snorkel on, and I'd do the full unwrap. So the furry bit, flammable nylon bit, should I say, was on the inside. And then I'd sit there eating my dinner, pushing the fork right up the snout. And my mum and dad didn't say anything like, stop doing that, you idiot. It would just be like, yeah, that's how you keep warm in this house. My mother, she's 78. In her whole house, she's got one gas fire. That's it. That's it. That's what heats the whole house. And by heat the whole house, I mean keep the whole house freezing cold. It's ice cold in those beds upstairs. It's, but you know, if Andrew's right and prices are going, I mean, why wouldn't prices be going up? I mean, we were getting our energy from America. Well, it's OPEC and Russia now. Cheers. Thanks a lot for that. I mean, what a thing to see. Hello, Dennis. Where else are we? Have I moved down here too much? Hello, Clark. Nice to see thee. Al Max on the firm. Hello, Nona. You've come back. To be honest with you, Nona, I thought we'd lost you yesterday because it was a bit of a sex-heavy stream. Now, I'm not saying that's not your cup of tea, but it probably wasn't a good introduction to the nonsense that goes on here. But nice to see you back. Nona said, was watching the vid where you were saying you're planning to have children. Yeah, still planning it. Still trying it. I think I'm firing blanks. I tried to get... it gets a bit personal because I've been kind of... Without going into the details, let's just say... I've been buttering my... I'm trying to think of a nice analogy. I've been spunking on her tits a lot. That's not, sorry. I might, let's just be honest. A bit of kind of lifelong fear of being an actual adult and having children has been sort of motivating me to spill my beans anywhere but where they might achieve babies. But she's not having it anymore. She's 24 years old, Nona. She's very demanding sexually, which is excellent because it's good. And she's not letting me out. She's entrapping me with her legs and other weapons, essentially, and forcing me to put it where it needs to go. So, you know. I did actually try and get my spunk tested. I mean, if anyone wants to send me a stamped addressed envelope, I'll send you some. Let me know what you think. I'm sorry. Good evening to you, Nona. Lovely to see you back. Who else we got on the firm? Did I say hello, 42? I'm sure I did. Hello, Tony. They said I should go to Rehab. I said no. Great tune. It is a great tune. Very sad, though, because I spoke to her father. He came and visited me in a rehab once, and I said to him, Mitch, what's her name? Amy Winehouse. Mitch Winehouse. He's a cab driver. He lives up just near my mother. And he came in, and I said to him, your daughter's probably going to die. I said, because her drug use keeps her in the papers. It keeps her records getting sold. You know, when we see her emaciated on stage, singing out of key and looking at that fucking wastrel of a boyfriend she had. I love you, baby. You know, she was on the front cover of every magazine. Next day, millions of records get sold, or whatever it is, merch, digital downloads. Hi, internet. And I said, you know, she's got no reason to stop, and no one's telling her to. And she went to a rehab, and that idiot boyfriend said, she's only going if I can go. And the chances of a couple getting clean together in rehab is less than zero. And so they sort of bent over backwards because it was Amy Winehouse, and it would be good kudos to the rehab centre. And he just went, fuck this. I'm you know, because on the first day they would have said, do you not think that he's a controlling, horrible bloke? And he went, fuck this, I'm going. Took her with him. She then decided to go back to rehab because she liked it, because she wasn't killing herself. And there's a bit in that movie, and even if you don't like Amy Winehouse's music, I suggest watching the movie Amy. It's a fucking brilliant documentary. There's a bit in that where she's decided she's going to rehab, which would have saved her life, or certainly could have saved her life. And the old man Mitch says, what, rehab? Rehab? She ain't got time for rehab. She's got a world tour to do. Yeah. I think she didn't have time for a world tour, Mitch, but I'm sure it all worked out rosy in the end. Oh no, she's dead. She looked fucking. It's just she looked like Lizard Jane by the end of it. Lizard Jane, you say? Yeah, it's a story on the Substack, link in the description. Right, now there's 116 here. If people rocked up late, like I did, 15 minutes, get your music in for Scrubstock 2, or it ain't going to happen. You've got until the 10th of September. We moved it on a bit because we had technical difficulties. Hello, Pizzle. How are you, son? Good to see you. Well, I said hello, Al. We will move on to these clips in a minute because I've got some good stuff. Hello, Eric. I was addicted to sake. I haven't had a sip in 3 months. 3 in the chat for Eric Strand. Eric, are you new on the firm? Only asking because people will welcome you. Were you serious? So you were an alcoholic? I'm a bit concerned I've missed a joke there because in a life of addiction and addicts, I've never met an alcoholic who was addicted to sake. If people don't know, sake is rice wine, essentially. My old man used to make it. Were you seriously a sake addict? Or were you a sarcastic addict? See what I've done there? Just wordplay, things like that. If you like wordplay, check out my Substack. Link in the description. New novel coming out November. And it is, people. I'm sticking to that. Anyway, did I say hello? What's her name? Keys of the Kingdom. Nice to see thee. Right, let me catch up. Hello, Joan. What a pleasure. Incredible. Hello, mashed potato. Right, we'll get on to these clips. I just want to catch up with the chat and the donations. Hello, Matt. Matt says, afternoon all. It's hot and humid in Hoserland, and I'm having a pabster while in a meeting. I don't know what a pabster is. As soon as I think I'm done with summer drinking, it pulls me back in. Also, pabster is some kind of booze, is it? You're a stoner and a drinker, Matt. Your lonely life of booze and jazz cigarettes. If anyone thinks that's harsh, it's all right. He knows it is. Rags, hello, mate. Nice to see you. Ignore the other one. Fuck it off. This is the place to be. Hello, Fat. Nice to see you, son. Planet X, thank you, mate. Always donates. Very generous. Much appreciated. Miss Dangered. Lovely to see you. I read your comment on the videos. I understand why you ducked out for a while there. That's all right. Lovely to see you back. So at one point, I asked for, hello, Moody. How are you, son? Hello, Michael. Michael, you read some of the old Substacks, if I remember rightly. Have I got that right? Maybe not. But nice to see you. Yeah, the old manor up there. Nice. Anywhere near Islington? I don't really know that part of London. I was central when I was West End. Never left Zone 1. All the riffraff out. Once you get out into Zone 2 and that, fucking hell. Fucking hell. Moody Edge's balls hurt. Well, it will happen. Hello, Lulu. Nice to see you. Marzipan. No notification. That ain't very good. Hello, Barrett Zippo. Good to see you, son. Right, I'm nearly up to date. Mr. Natras. Really love the book cover art, Chris. Keep it coming. Yeah, man. There's been some good stuff. I don't think you were here the other day. I'll keep it brief because people have heard it. But you know Jock, my mate Jock, who does all the Batman and that. He used to do me Edinburgh flyers. I've been talking to him about all that old crime noir covers. And I said to him about one of them, I said, if the woman was Thai and that suit fitted a bit better, that could be my forthcoming novel cover, Jock. I mean, that's a $5,000 job. But you know, I want him to say, oh, I'd love to do your book cover. I don't think he's going to. Thank you for the donation, Mr. Natras. But yeah, I mean, Graham, if you want to see loads of those, just go to Google, type in crime noir covers or crime pulp fiction covers, and you'll be on a wild goose chase for hours, seeing some of the most incredible, commercial illustration and graphic design. It really is quite something. Hello, Toomey. Been enjoying Substack. Nice one. Red Pill Seed wants me to stop being entertaining. I can't. I'm an entertainer. Substack is free. It will never be monetized. Well, it might actually, but it won't be for about a year. So for the minute, it's free. Hello, Vesper Check. Nice to see you. Sophist on the firm. He's on the firm. I need a piss. LC 350. Right, I think I've said hello to everyone. If I've missed you, I'll pick you up. Hello, Doc Shelley. Good to see thee. Devastating. No one's got music for the... Oh, Fat's got one coming. But not too many. I'm looking forward to that Italian election, though. September the 13th. There's no one's talking about it. Rittenhouse has pulled, has he? Is that what you're saying? Hello, visionary companion. Has he really? Is that what you're talking about? That takes a bit of, dedication. I mean, he's got a few quid, though, let's be honest. We all make mistakes. Oh, I mean, she's actually very... Oh, no, that was the bloke. That was the woman. That was the bird of the bloke he shot, one of them. I think I've... hang on. Is it Zoe Laverne? I don't know what the hell's going on. I'm not down. I don't know what I'm talking about, to be honest. Oh, there's plenty of ones. Here come the ones. No covers. Sorry. No covers. Oh, look. JP, October, Toomey, It's a Duck. Oh, that's lovely. Planet X has sent him. Yeah, I've got a few. Al can send more. Professional musician Al. I can give him a back catalogue. Michael's got one coming as well. Great stuff. Yeah, but Willow, it's Scrubstock 2. Yeah, you could, mashed potato. Get something done, son. Right. Let me just... I just want to make sure I'm up to date. Hello, Mark. How are you, sonner? Hello, Mark Shaw. What a season. We're having. All I see is people going, oh, don't get too excited. It's early days. I mean, they're not great opponents, are they? Oh, fuck that. I'm absolutely loving it. I'm celebrating it all and listening to podcasts all day long while I'm working. Hello, Mr. Salmon, Charlie Sparkles, Baz. Right, let's have a look at some of the... If I haven't said hello October, I certainly will do at some point, I'm sure. But I've got all these clips here. It's 1:45 in the morning. I've got to get some writing done. I've got a video to make after this. Hello, I just see Pelosi's portfolio zoom by. Hello, ST3. I can't even remember why I asked, but free. Hello, Ludwig. Good to see you. Mrs. Me in it's on the phone. They're all turning up now. This is the original proper big one. Hello, John. Andrew. Cragley Hayes is on the firm too. Right, let's have a bit of clippage, shall we? What have I got for you first? A bit of our friend, your friend of mine, United Spot. Absolutely. United Spot has been nailing it. Oh, and by the way, I've got some toxic masculinity for tonight. That's just... There's so much goodness in there. Right, check this out. Hello, Brian. Good to see you, son. This is United Spot. It's called What Happened. I'm going to put my headphones in, actually, so I don't have to keep muting myself, because then I forget to turn it off. Hello, Honey Monster. Nice to see you, Cyril. Right, let me see if I can work this out. B for Bluetooth. Click that. Go down there. Danger pods. Connect. That's right. Semitone out. Select. Let me just see. It's working like a dream. Right, here we go, people. I don't know if you'll be able to hear the varts, but oh, Mr. Falstaff, I'll have to get a screen grab of that and show that in a minute. Good call, Mr. Falstaff. A little entropy dropped in there. Right, have a look at this. The United Spot. We've seen plenty of them, and he's just smashing it. Check it.
I did it. I solved gas prices. Y'all didn't think I could do it, did you? But I did it. I may be Polish, but I ain't American. You know, I hate to say I told you so, but Joe has done it again. Way to go, Joe. We knew you could do it. So there I was, with Jill's husband, calling every gas company in the world, leaving message after message after message after message with no reply. And when nobody called him back, I grabbed a big spoon of Parmesan cheese and I was like, hey, Dad, what if cars didn't need gas? And that's when I knew time travel was possible. No, Dad, that's not what happened. So you're telling me that the flux capacitor and 88 miles an hour wasn't real? No, Dad. So you can make mashed potatoes out of Pringles. Probably. Finally, a president that gets things done. Oh my gosh. Me and my husband are super duper proud of you, Joe. Super duper. But for the rest of you, stop being poor. Stop being poor and go and buy an electric car. Right? Hey, Dad. What? Remember when I said that, like, cars didn't need gas? Yeah, I don't know. But I seem to remember that was right around the time I invented the flying car. No, Dad. That's when I told you that.
Sorry to interrupt, but look at AOC. He always uses that boat race of her and all.
Cars don't need gas anymore. Cars don't need gas? Not anymore, Joe. Because of you. Well, it's actually because of me, but whatever. Is this the sun? Wait a minute, so you're telling me I invented gas? Obama, I need help. What seems to be the problem? That you, Corn Pop? My dad forgot he saw gas prices.
Hang on, no. That's too good. Is that you, Corn Pop?
Wait a minute, so you're telling me I invented gas? Obama, I need help. What seems to be the problem? That you, Corn Pop? My dad forgot he solved gas prices. Joe, you solved gas prices. You mean, like when a hooker uses a laptop to take a picture of your son in a compromising position, and then your son takes that laptop to get repaired and forgets all about it because the Parmesan cheese was kicking in and all those pictures went online? That reminds me, I need to go pick up my laptop at the repair shop. I think all of you peasants out there owe Joe a huge apology. Because of him, you don't have to be poor anymore. Who's the best president in the world? Trump? No, silly. You are. I am? Yeah, you're the bestest, most amazing president ever. Well, I guess so. Joe. Who's Joe? Hey, stop that. So, like, when I heard that, like, Joe solved gas prices, I just knew that we were that much closer to landing on the sun. Hey, stop being poor, America. You're welcome.
Mutage, just fucking brilliant. If you don't know the channel, it's called The United Spot, and he cranks one of them out every other day, and they're all brilliant. I might have another one racked up. Thanks, Rags, for that one. A couple of the clips I got tonight from Rags. While we're on it, I mean, it's not a subject I want to deal with for too long, but Sam Harris has let himself down a bit. I mean, I know atheism is very dull, and I know Sam Harris is very dull, but can you believe what he said? If you don't know it, and I'm sure most of you do, Sam Harris basically said that the mainstream media covered up the Hunter Biden laptop scandal so that Biden could win the election. And everyone's watching it going, yeah. Oh, good call, Sam, for admitting that. And then he was like, and so they should have done. That that has got the whiff of the communist greater good about it, hasn't it? Yeah, no, so they should have done, yeah. Because, otherwise it would have been Trump. Sam Harris, I think, has got the worst Trump derangement syndrome out of anyone. He's like a cluster. He's like a cluster of it. It was shocking. Yeah, there you go. Exactly that. Ludwig nailed it. He jumped the academic shark like a right muppet. It was ridiculous. Fat said the same as Ludwig, but a little bit more aggressive. What an arsehole. Because it's not only derangement syndrome, but it's like, no, it's all right to lie. It's all right for the propaganda wing of the communist Democrats to lie to people so that they can control who maintains power. That's disturbing. What, you're up for that, are you, Sam Harris? So you support like the KGB, you support the Stasi, do you? You're into that kind, because that's how they operated as well. Why is it flashing like that? It's doing my nutting. I can assure you there's nothing. It'll be that poxy white balance, won't it? We could do with a bit more white balance in the world, but not here. Give me a couple of seconds, people. I'll press a couple of buttons and nothing will occur. Logitech webcam software engage. Nothing has happened. Try it again. Maybe that's it. No, that's support assist. Something else I don't know what is. Well, that doesn't seem to. Oh, no, there it is. Right, here we go. Webcam controller. Watch this. Oh. I don't know what's happening because I can't see it, but I'll assume it's not that good. Right, if I put that over there and I go to webcam options, and if I go back here, press that. That wasn't meant to happen. I think. Are you still there? Oh my God, I think I've got rid of it. Have I got rid of the stream? Is anyone watching? Am I still here? Oh shit, there. Hi. Hello, Bob Boo. Nice to see thee. Right, what was happening when I've done that? Oh God, you got to see the beauty and it's all its detail. Hi. Screen grab it, people. Gotcha. Right, I think the problem is going to be advanced settings. I think if I turn white balance off auto and then turn them all off, and you'll notice that I've just wasted all that time and it's still going to be flashing. Now I'm too close. Oh, for God's sake, Mum, help us out. It's all gone weird. I'm so close now because you're so far away from me. Now I've got to do it again. Hang on. Maybe I should play a clip. Oh, it's here. Webcam controller. So minus. There you go. That should be it. Let me check before I close it. This is the content you come here for. I hope it is, because it's all I've got for you. Press that. There you go. Hello, all right. Nice to see you. We're back and I'm slack. I don't know what that is. Let me shut that down. Now, I don't know if it's going to stop that flashing, but it was doing my nutting. But yeah, I mean, Sam Harris, what a terrible thing. He basically said it's all right to lie to maintain power if you don't like the opposition. That seems wrong. Is that just me, or is there something fundamentally wrong about that? Now, I know it flashed then, but that's because I put a white screen up there to show you my good side. Backside, woof, bark, biscuits. Slick nan. My nan's too slick for gymnastics. Right, where are we going from here? Let's have another clippage. What have I got for you? Odin's Men. So I always say it, most of you know now, but Odin's Men is Jameson's Travels. Ex-military, 30-odd year military career. Used to do still does do a YouTube channel about what's going on in the military. But like anyone who does anything to do with anything in contemporary culture, you necessarily stumble across wokeism. And he set up another channel called Odin's Men. And I'm going to give the game away at the beginning of this because it's just liberal tears. This is called Gen Z Brought to Tears When Men Don't Hit on Her, brackets, dating without Tinder. So some bird decides she's going to get rid of dating apps, and it doesn't work out too well for her because she hasn't got the skills to pay the sensual bills because she's grown up working it in a different environment. Anyway, we won't watch all of it because it's 8.5 minutes, but you'll get the idea and we can all have a good giggle at someone else's misfortune. Schadenfreude. Here we go. Let me know you've got audio, please. Proper big one. Hello, Vincent. Here we go.
This year, I decided I'm going to go the full year without using any dating app.
What I thought, I genuinely thought.
Already. Nice on Pax Max. Hello, Emma G. It's brilliant, isn't it? Let's just watch that opening again. Good call by Odin's Men to drop those two in right at the top of the show. Let's go back. Hit it.
This year, I decided I'm going to go the full year without using any dating app.
What I thought, I genuinely thought that I was going to meet people. It was. I hate men so much.
In an empty house, not having nobody to cater to. So think twice before you tell somebody that's single that they live in the life.
I have just reached a new level of crazy because I just made, well, not made, like I said.
Once you say you've reached a new level of crazy, it's a bad idea.
He did it out of his own free will, but my boyfriend, my fiance, because we just got engaged, just signed a legal document and we got it notarized that if he cheats on me, he has to pay my bills. We did. We just got a legal document signed and actually got it notarized, like legal AF, that if he cheats on me.
Now, I don't think there's anything wrong with post-nuptials. I don't think there's anything wrong with prenuptial agreements, but I wonder if this this river runs uphill as well as downhill. So the old phrase never goes.
He's screwed.
Listen, I dig fantasy land like the next guy, but do you think any guy who's going to have anything would sign this document? So now she's created some legal entanglement for her Tinder hookup, and she thinks this is going to be a good idea somehow. She trusts him just enough to make him sign a contract. What can go wrong here?
I had a lot of shitty men when I was young, and when a really nice guy would come along who was educated, well-traveled, all the things that women say we want in a partner, I'd be like, he's boring. Oftentimes, secure attachers come across to us as boring.
So I'm at the beach and I see all these families and all these couples and this husband making his wife truly and all this stuff. And I just look and go, what the hell did I do so wrong in a past?
Feminism, it was feminism, darling. That's what fucked you and the West with it. While we're on that, give us a second. I have omitted Mr. Falstaff's super chat, and that just is not cricket. If someone puts their hand in their pocket and supports the show, they deserve recognition. Nice one, John. John drops a Lady Godiva and he says, here's a novel title courtesy of the Museum of Modern Art. Oh, I like that. I like the Museum of Modern Art. Suit, tie, getting dry. Yeah. P.S. I was abroad last week. Your channel was nowhere to be found in the search. I typed the exact address in and all that, appeared were vids from 3 months ago. John, I got a week ban, and I was at the province for a few days, and then my internet went down. So I was actually off the internet for about 10, 11 days or something. So I don't know why 3 months ago. That's very weird. Maybe they were just blocked in whatever country you're in. While I've got, thanks for that donation, though, John. Sorry it was a bit late on the recognition. Have a look at this meme. Stelter's got himself a new job. Two men of your nightmares, aren't they? The pair of them. I don't know which one I'd rather. No, just neither. Nothing of them ever in my life. I'm going to have to crank this up again because once you do all that malarkey, the volume drops out. But we'll watch a few more of these libs. Here we go.
Life that I can't find that for myself. Look, I get tired of being asked, why am I single? Let's just ask my mother. Mom, why am I single? How much time do you have? Damn.
Let me take a poll here. Why do you think she's single? What would be the laundry list of reasons she can't find the ideal guy? Do you think it has anything to do with her laundry list of requirements for the guy? Is she just having terrible luck? Are men that shitty today where she can't find a guy that meets her moral standards? What do you think it is here? I'm trying to wrap my arms around this one.
And you know what, people? It's a really important point he makes there. Now, I'm not digging out Western women, but Western women have had so much pressure put on them from some very destructive forces. Education, media, higher and further education, and feminism. And it's created a monster called Western women. Hashtag not all. But that's why, when I first went out to Thailand, I couldn't believe it. I could not believe it. And I'm not talking about brass. I'm talking about regular Thai women. Feminine. Unashamedly feminine, not trying to keep up with the blokes with masculine things, working to their strengths, not making crazy demands, not thinking they're princesses. Most men just want someone to be kind. I mean that. Most of the blokes I know just want someone to be kind to them. Yes, they want a bit of sex, but so do women. Otherwise, we wouldn't be here. But the horrors, some of the horrors I've encountered in the West, in England, and in Europe, Western women, it's just shocking. And all these birds on here complaining, what have I done? Well, you probably failed to be critical of the bullshit that's been fed to you by communists because they inhabit every institution you've been part of. And I feel for them. I really do. The damage that communism, feminism has done, especially to Western women, because they're the best target, because they're the ones that breed. If gay men bred, there'd be fucking millions of people. A million, there'd be no worries about breeding at a replacement rate if men bred. But women are a great target to destroy nations. If you can, there's an old saying, isn't there? Give me your children, and I'll take your nation or something. But women is one step nearer. You're cutting out the middleman, going for the kids. Attack the women. Demoralize the women, make the women entitled. And that's why, you see them in their 40s down at the booze with all the 19-year-old girls. And it's a tragedy. And it's a tragedy happening on a semi-global level. Terrifying.
He called me and I'm like, I'm bored. He's like, did you go to the gym today? And I'm like, no. Are you calling me fat? He was like, yeah.
I have friends and family that always tells me, you're so lucky to be single and have no kids. You're living the life.
Allow me to interrupt here. So you see the comment. So lucky to be single. Is it living the life when you're in your 30s? You want a companion, someone to talk to when you're by yourself? Is that empowerment? Here's my 2 cents. When you're in your 20s, you left home, you get your own place, you can live the life and party. But how long is that entertaining? How long is it fun to come home to an empty apartment with
Exactly. And I was talking about that yesterday with men and the idea of having loads of different women for sex. I mean, it works for your 20s because you're hormonally driven to it. And there's the novelty of the new woman, and there's that sense of achievement. I've pulled another bird. But I remember getting to the point where I'd get back to a bird's house. You know, I was fucking 3 or 4 women a week at art school, and I'd get back to their house and we'd be chatting and having a few gin and tonics and a little bit of poetry. And then I could feel it in the air. There was this sense that we have to have a fuck because we're a man and a woman that met in a student party. And, you know, and I'd end up fucking them, and I'd be there with like my head in the pillow. This woman knows nothing about my desires, knows nothing about my sexual life because I only met her that night. So it's literally animal just and I'd have my head in the pillow thinking it was better before. It was better when we were talking. It was better when we were getting on, when we were getting to know each other. And, you know, that was the same point I was making yesterday. That these women, no, have a career. Don't get tied down with a family. Have a career. Well, I'm sorry, darling, but that career is fucking going to be lonely as fuck at Christmas when everyone else is out with their families and you're there with your career. How's it going at work on Christmas Day? I've worked on Christmas Day. I fucked a brass on Christmas. I was fucking a prostitute while the bells were ringing out for Christmas night in fucking London. And I remember thinking, yeah, I had a full-length manila coat on, you know, the old Flashers Mac, and I thought, I'm him. I've become that man. I can remember getting back to my house and, you know, all I could hear was Christmassy stuff, and obviously it's all over the internet, all over the telly. And I remember thinking, and it's a very basic thought I had. I remember thinking, where is everyone? Shouldn't there be children around here or something? You know, I was like 44 or something at the time. I remember thinking, shouldn't I have like a family and an extended family and their friends and I'm just a bloke smoking crack on Christmas Day on my own. And, you know, I've said this one so many times on this channel, so I won't thrash it. But the idea of having a kid and getting back to work in 3 weeks, oh, don't worry, just get someone else to look after the kids you've just carried for 9 months. Oh, no, that won't damage the child at all, just palming them off. And when you come home from work moaning about how much you hate your shitty job and your boss, when your kid hears you say that and thinks, hang on a minute, my mum hates her job, but she'd rather do that than stay at home and be with me. Yeah, that kid's going to turn out great. And also, most of this is pushed on working class women. So that's wrong to say most of it's pushed on them, but middle class women are already in that mindset. So it's promoted to working class people. The job barely pays for the childcare. So there's no bonus. It's just damaging to the family yet again. That's evil. That's evil. Feminism is bastard. To get a woman carries a living human, a child, her child, in her stomach, in her womb for 9 months. It's delivered into the world, life. And 3 or 4 weeks later, she's in the gym trying to get rid of that fat, got to get rid of it, got to get a job, got to go out, got to get a career. I'm a modern woman. I can have a family and a career. No, you can't. No, you can't. You shouldn't. Why bother? Why bother? You've just had a fucking child. A career doesn't count. That's nothing compared with a child. Raise your child. It's obscene. Feminism is cancer. Anyway, moving on. Right, here we go. It's the grift is low. The grift is low. That isn't encouraging. So I'll just drop that in there. This is today's toxic masculinity. Now, this isn't very eventful. Usually with our toxic masculinity section, there's an event of some sort, you know, something spectacular. Now, it's another fight from King of the Streets. King of the Streets is unlicensed underground prize fighting, a bit like Satan's Backyard, but they've upped it a bit. It's proper no rules. You can eye gouge. You do whatever you want, right? I love it. I love in a society where men are told their being, their masculinity is toxic. In a society where that is pushed from the legacy media, there are men training in gyms, going into car parks, making phone calls at the last minute and being told where to meet and fight and kicking the shit out of each other. I love it. I think this is resistance. I mean that. I think this is Vart. Bless you, Varta. I think this is actual resistance. This is actual male resistance. Now, what's incredible about this? It really is, John. I think it's the best of all of them. They've just got their production values sorted, and that's what makes it incredible. Now, I'm going to show you 2.5. Yes, you can, Pizzle. I found out the other day. Thank you for that second Vart. Nice one, RP. Have it. That's very kind of you, Raymond. Yeah, we had a little tete-a-tete on here the other day, and I said it's no rules, but you can't eye gouge. And someone, I can't remember, it might have been JP or RP Raymond. Someone said you can eye gouge, and there's a fight where you see him do it, and you think, oh. But well, let's go back there. Thank you, Raymond. That was very kind. And the other one is over on entropy. Colin, I'll deal with that one in a minute, mate. Oh, hang on. Actually, it's to do with what I was just talking about. So I think it's only fair I show it now. Oh, that wasn't meant to happen like that. Oh, what's going on here then? That weren't meant to happen. Hang on, I've gone all cack-handed. Is that a saying? My mum always says it. Look at you and your cack-handed approach to life. What? Cack-handed? Thank you, Raymondo. And this came in from Colin of Kent, who chose 4 GBP. Great stream, Mr. Danger. Do you think the Great Recession upon us might stamp out feminism? Well, feminism is an aspect of communism. It's a facet of communism. So if the recession will stamp out communism, then yes. But feminism is straight out of the communist playbook. So it is communism. It's communism, much like the whole race thing that we had last year. They just changed the class things to race, and feminism changes the class thing to gender. So that's my answer. The midterms are going to be. I'm going to do a live stream for the whole of the midterms results coming in, and unless that's the red wave from bottom to top, it's over for America. And if America falls, I wouldn't have a lot of hope in Europe. I've got faith that it will be a red wave from ground to ceiling, though. Anyway, thank you, Raymond. Thank you, Colin. Much appreciated. Now, this fight has already been going on for 5 minutes. Now, as I said, there's no like, don't wait for some amazing spinning knockout. There's none of that. But here's what there is. A little while ago, I said about King of the Streets getting their production values going. Some of the footage in this fight, it's like Scorsese made it. there's a bit you'll see where they go out of the lights. Now, trust me, people, this is unregulated, unlicensed, multi-story car park, fight club stuff. It really is. And there's a bit in this scene. It's beautiful. The cinematography is beautiful. They go out of the light and well, you'll see it. So I'm only going to play 2.5 minutes of it, but they've already been fighting for over 5 minutes. And just look at the state of the geezer in red. Now, I'm not watching this for the gratuitous violence, although I do like fighting. I really like fighting. I like watching it. I ain't very good at it. But I like blokes going into car parks and fighting. I think it's brilliant. I think it's an up yours to everything that's going on culturally. The culture war is a culture war. That's not a poetic description of like the Cold War was a poetic description. We're actually fighting for our culture. This is why I won't give up football, because it's our culture. It might not appear to be our culture, but it actually still is. Football is part of British culture. We can't just give it away because of the enrichment. And young men going into car parks and fighting is part of culture. You know, it's got so, this is in America, but it's so European, and most of the fighters are from Europe as well, interestingly. But anyway, check out some of the cinematography. I am joking, of course, because there's no cinematography. There's a handy cam and a couple of fucking spotlights. But it looks like it. It's so beautiful, some of the shots. I'll shout about them when they happen anyway. Have a look at this. Hang on. And you see, Matt, I know you're only making a funny, but I spoke about this the other day. I don't like that when people talk about men in sport and men fighting being homoerotic. It ain't. It's a long way from two blokes fighting to two blokes fucking. Trust me. I lived in Soho for God knows how long. I was the only straight in the village, and they don't kick the shit out of it well, actually. But homoerotic, it's so intentionally vague. It's just like it's another attack on men's spaces. Oh, men playing football, getting in the shower together. Look at them playing with their balls. Look at them all hugging. Oh. That isn't homosexual. It's an insult to the gays for a start, and it's an insult to men enjoying male company. And I think you have to be really careful about that. I don't like that comment. I know you're making a joke, Matt, but it's like it's very homoerotic. No, it ain't. It ain't. Anyway, check it out because this is awesome. Like I say, they've already been at it for 5 minutes. And if any of you have ever had a fight, your arms are burning after about 2 minutes. Most fights, you have a break. Look at the geezer in red. Look at the state of his boat race. Here we go. Right there. Right. This 10-second, just after this next bit looks like it's been so beautifully. No, I know, Matt. Oh, that wasn't my point. I know. I did try and make that clear. I do apologize if I misinterpreted your point. But this next bit, the lighting and everything just looks incredible. When they disappear into the darkness, look. Wow. I should point out, although you can probably see, the geezer in the red shorts has been taking an absolute shitting for 5 minutes. He can't get near the other bloke. The other bloke's been picking him off with jabs for the last 5 minutes. So bear that in mind. Look at that shot. Look at that shot. Oh, my God. Look at the geezer on the left. All in, not this bit, but in about a second. The geezer on the left is all lit up and the bloke on the right's in the dark. It looks amazing. Yes, Barrett Zippo. Yes. Incredible. That's the referee, Mrs. Me in it. Isn't it amazing? And most of the crowd wear masks. Look at this geezer in his fucking ice hockey mask. Yeah, oh no, they don't want people to know who they are. Hey, Paul, have you read that book, A Fighter's Heart? It's a bit of a long shot on the back of you saying that. Has anyone here read that book called A Fighter's Heart? I read it. Very interesting. Hello, Jays. Hello, Billy. Good to see you. Anyway, check out the bit where one's in the dark and one's lit. It looks amazing. Wow, the tension. Look at that. Look at it. Look, he's fully lit, this fella. This geezer, you can make him out because he's picking up some light. It's just an amazing, it looks like a shot from a movie. And it ain't. This is real life. This is real men going and fighting. Fucking brilliant. They've now been fighting for 6 minutes. State of him. And he ain't stopping, look. He can barely stand up. It's quite interesting. Another great shot. It's quite interesting when you hear the crowd go, ooh. I remember when I lived on the Old Ford Road in Bethnal Green, and at the end of Old Ford Road is York Hall, which is a very well-known boxing venue. And so we'd get up there quite regularly to go and see the fighting. And the first time I went up there was the first time I'd ever seen fighting, like, you know, it was kickboxing actually, not boxing, live. And we were about 3 rows away from the ring. And it's quite interesting, actually. The full price tickets to the first row, yeah, but they were getting covered in blood and sweat. They were pushing their seats back. We weren't letting them. No, you paid your money, you get your AIDS. You paid your money, you get your monkeypox. But it was weird, right? You've got Charlie Magri, all that crowd's in there. All those East End villains are in there. Like, it's like 500 flat-nosed geezers and their Dolly Bird wides, right? Geezer takes an elbow to the side of the face. It goes crack as his orbital bone smashes. He falls down. His head bounces off the canvas. For a split second, silence. Because although the place is littered with hard men who've snapped people's arms and hung them from trees and what have you, for a split second, no one can handle that. No one can handle that. And it's much like that here when you see them and, like, you know, these are hard men in the audience as well. And, you know, they're not like, yay, which you get at the UFC when there's a punch, when yeah, come on, yeah. Because it's all been diluted in sport and entertainment and all that stuff. This hasn't got that. So you notice when they make a strike, it's that very visceral, very real. It's not a performance. I know the UFC is real fighting, but you know what I mean about the way it's presented. When these geezers get hit, you hear all those blokes sort of go, ooh, because this is no rules. If you knock him down, you're allowed to kick him in the head while he's on the floor. You're allowed to kick him in the head while he's going down. you know, the stakes are quite high. You can't do that in the UFC. You'd be banned for life. So listen to the crowd. There's only a few seconds left, about 30 seconds. 7.5 minutes they've been fighting, I think now, which is exhausting. And now, after 7.5 minutes of losing and getting his face pummeled to shit, he's got the other bloke on the ground, and he's going to repeatedly smash him in the face and win the fight. Fucking brilliant. Fucking brilliant. Because you watch the whole fight, you don't think that other geezer's going to win, but he just keeps going. That other bloke takes ages to get up as well. I think he's probably got some kind of severe brain damage. But yeah, if you like underground fighting, King of the Streets it's intense. It's very intense stuff. Right, what else have I got for you? What? Right, I'm going to go and have a wee. I'll see you in a bit. Anyone want to take the stream? Who's set up to take the stream? Marzipan, you still here? Oh, bollocks. I'll be waiting more. I'll be taking longer waiting for someone to do it. Let me just have a wee. Oh my God, it's massive. King of the Streets, here he comes, Dangerfield. Ba 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 ba. Ba 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 da 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 ba ba da 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 dish 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 da 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 da. The old Dangerfield classic. Bite his throat out. A few darts to be dealt with. A few darts. Got a cracking next. I done Colin and Mr. Falstaff. Let's catch up with some donations. Sorry I'm out of breath, but you know, carrying that cobra around. Excuse the burp. That was awful. I'm going to mute the second one though. The second one was beautiful. Yes, Vlad Lito. Nice to see you, mate. Nice to see you, Hoax. I think it was the way I dealt with the other violence. I think I could defend that one because I was actually making a cultural comment on it. I can hope so. That would be terrible, wouldn't it? They're out for my blood. Well, the problem with the eyes, Pizzle, in a fighting situation is they're a very small target. And it also means exposing your digits. I mean, what are you going to do? Try, it's a small target, isn't it? My advice is go for the neck. Punch someone in the throat, or don't even punch them. Open hand in the throat. You kill someone. bang. And that's this stream's death shot. Anyway, let's catch up with some of these denunciatos, because it is the grease that keeps the cogs of the glorious House of Scrubs moving. And it's much appreciated. Mr. RP, my mate Ray Buck, who got me boxing amateur, went to the state, boxed Holden gloves at 40. He drove off Beachy Head. Oh, Lord. So for people who don't know, Beachy Head is a place in England which for some reason it's almost traditional, isn't it? If you're going to top yourself, you do it at Beachy Head. It's actually very English, isn't it, to have a traditional suicide spot. I'm not taking anything away from suicide. I can't imagine what it must be like to be feeling so much pain that you kill yourself. You know, I love life, and it ain't been great, my life, either. Some of it has, most of it has, but I've had my fair share of hard times, and I haven't caused all of them. I haven't caused all of them myself, but yeah, that's a shame. Raymond, are you suggesting there was some kind of link between the boxing and the suicide, or perhaps he was already in a kind of a bad state, and the boxing just sort of was like a catalyst or something? Or are you just telling us? Nice one on the Lady Godiva. Hello, Josh. Nice to see you, son. Mr. Vincent Griffin. Great video yesterday. Very positive and uplifting. Thank you, Vincent. Vincent's talking about the video I made yesterday, not the stream. If you haven't seen it, it's called How to Enjoy Life. And thank you, Vincent. I got a lot of emails about that stream, which meant a lot to me, because I think it's important to enjoy life. And if you do it right, one's enough. You know, you don't have to worry about dying. Death's not a problem. Death's a solution. Pizzle says, I'm not much of a fighter, but I once did take on three. I did once take on 3 lads at once because they wouldn't serve me. Yeah, most of my actual physical engagements have been around needing skag. Yeah, no, me and fighting is much like me and football. I know what I should do. If I'm on a football pitch 5-a-side, I know that I should make that run. I'll catch that square ball. The other winger's making a run into the box. I can pass that about 5 meters in front of him. He'll have that. I know all that. Don't work out like that, though. I mean, my martial arts is brilliant. I've done Wado Ryu, Shotokan, Taekwondo. I've done kickboxing and Muay Thai at Bethnal Green. I'm still flexible as old Nick, as you can see. That is my leg. Hello, incredible, huh? But I'm not a fighter. That takes a different... I'm just not a fighter. In the chat, men and women. I mean, I'm going to ignore the women, but I'm just being polite. Are you a fighter? I mean, not a martial artist. I mean, a fighter. I mean, do you enjoy fighting? Are you good at it? I'd be interested to know if any blokes here are good fighters and are into it. Not into it as in, like, starting trouble, but, you know, wouldn't sort of see it as a bad thing if someone, you know, if you're in a boozer and some bloke called it on and you went, well, we could step outside if you want to sort it out there. I've seen blokes in Dartford do that. And I'm like, oh, do we have to go through this again? They both come back in like just covered in blood, all their T-shirts ripped up. You want a beer, son? Yeah, no problem. Spitting teeth into the pint and that. I'd be interested to see if there are any fight clubbers. Osmeister, have you got an anaconda in your underwear? Yeah, but I tuck him up the back door. keep an eye on him. Joe, thank you, Osmeister, for the donation. Hello, Joe. We have guns in America. Best way to go. I think it's an interesting point, but there is still a lot of sucker punching goes on in America. probably because of the guns. You can't actually have a tear up because if one of you start losing, you can just pull out your shooter and go, yeah, sorry. Poof. But there's plenty of guns in England, though. they came in with some friends. Right, let me just move down here. We've got some more clips, people. It's 2:30. I ain't getting this video made tonight. I ain't getting anything. I'm going to not do the video tonight, which means I've got to do it tomorrow morning. That's all right. That's all right. I'd always rather moan about work I've got than work I haven't. Oh, sorry, Joe. Sorry, mate. I ain't all here. I ain't all here. Mrs. Me in it can have a tear up. Oh, good Lord. LC 350. I can see you having a tear up, actually, LC 350. I used to have a no violence rule with the Dartford lads I used to knock about with. Like, they were fucking hard men. You know, I won't mention names, but they were proper hard men. And I used to say to them, look, and I used to take them up into Soho and I'd go, look, this is how it's going to work. If I take you up to some members clubs and introduce you to that crowd, that part of my life, because I want to, because you're a nice bloke, no fucking fighting. And I'll tell you what, they stuck to it. Bless them. They absolutely stuck to it. Even I know I've told this before, but there's a few noobs in. Well, relatively noobs. Please don't take that the wrong way. I used to work for this gangster and I loved him and he died in the end and I absolutely gutted. His wife comes in here occasionally. And we were such an unlikely friendship, me and him. People just didn't get it, but I absolutely adored the bloke. And we've gone up into Soho and first of all we washed down Glyn from Howard's Way. Full pint of Guinness, just washed him down. I said, don't hit him. That Glyn from Howard's Way was just mumbling. He went, probably fucking gay. And that was just too much. And he just went over and went, we got out into the street and I see some rude boy that had knocked me the week before. And I thought, hang on a minute, I got a bit of muscle with me. And I said, see that rude boy? I said, he knocked me the other week for 20 quid. I tried to get one-on-one off him. And he just took the money and told me to fuck off. And my mate went, oh, go on then. Why don't you go and sort him out? And I thought, wicked. I thought, here we go. I'll take one to the chin, no doubt. But my backup will come over and bosh. So I've gone over to this bloke and I went, hey. I went, remember that 20 quid? And he was sort of sucked his teeth and went, fuck off. And I just went, nah. And I went and I butted him. But rather than headbutt him with my head bone, weirdly being drunk and on heroin, I headbutted his head with my eye. And I went down. He held me up. Right? This street drug dealing drug knocking bastard, after I tried to butt him and knock myself out, he held me up. And as I come round, he went, you all right, mate? And I've looked round and my mate is in fits. He's absolutely cracking up. Are you all right, mate? He went. I went, yeah, no, sorry. I just thought it would be something to do with that, something else. Are you all right, mate? No, you're all right. Done another one as well. The amount of times me and a junkie mate decided to mug someone takes about 8 hours to get the balls together to do it, but by which time you're withdrawing so much, and then you just go up to someone, you find your target, some city boy usually, half pissed from his liquid lunch, and just as he goes down an alleyway outside King's Cross, you go up to him and go, nah. And he just goes, fuck off, and you go, yeah, I'm sorry, all right, I thought you were someone else. I always hit my mates. Sorry about that. Junkies don't make good muggers. I've had some crap fights Right. Anyway, let's check out a bit of Mark Dice, because I'll tell you now, and I mean this, once the United States of Communism goes back to Trump, I'll take DeSantis, I'll take Cruz, I'd even take fucking Trey Gowdy at this point. Fauci and a whole host of others, including Hillary, should be rounded up, tried in a court of law, and sentenced for crimes against humanity. I'm not joking. And I know none of you thought I was, because I know most of you agree with me. They should be tried. They've been proven to lie countless times, and they should be locked up. They should be punished for their crimes. What's old Fauci doing pre-midterms? So we've had Joe Biden's 10 billion. Oh, you don't need to pay off the student loans. No, have some VARD. Have some free communist money that other people are paying for. So that's happening. You've got the other lark we talked about earlier. Now Fauci's doing the off. He's retiring. I bet you, sportsman's bet, he gets out of America. I bet he fucks off because he knows they'll fucking raid his house. Oh, that's the other one, of course, the FBI on Trump's pad. All leading up to the midterm. Steve Bannon getting done for something that he didn't do. Ridiculous. He'll appeal his way out of that, but it makes him look bad. Oh, look, he got done. He done something stupid. It's absolutely mad. Willow had 3 Christmas punch-ups. Are you glad? Clark's a fighter. There was a few fighters in the chat. I missed them though, but I did see the ones. Mr. Bontoft. Hello, son. Nice to see you. Yeah, where's your tool? What tool? This tool. And then in the second version, because there was one made for telly and one, that film was made twice, wasn't it? But it's confusing because there's a couple of characters played by different actors. But in the other one, it's where's your fucking tool? What fucking tool? This fucking tool. Oh, everyone loved. I'll keep thinking Made in Britain. What's it called? I knew the geezer that got raped in the greenhouse. Well, no, I didn't. I knew the actor. I've shown you on here before. Fucking hell, what's it called? The Borstal movie. I'm the daddy. Carlin 2343, sir. I'm sure someone will tell me. That slipped my mind. I'll tell you what, I'm getting old, people. I'm sure someone's put it in the chat by now. Scum, thank you. There you go. Osmeister says it's the most depressing film I've ever seen. It's a fucking great movie. Made in Britain with Tim Roth is worth a watch as well. If you didn't like Scum, don't watch. It is Scum, yes. Check out Made in Britain. It's brilliant. Tim Roth's first movie. Yeah, I'll check this out anyway and make what you will of it. We won't watch all of it. We might actually, but I won't add much to it because Dice, as usual, nails it.
Dr. Fauci announced that he's going to be retiring at the end of the year and will no longer be the chief medical advisor to the President of the United States. So tell us, sir, what are you going to do with all your free time? Are you going to go golfing every day down in Florida? Are you going to travel the world? Are you going to get into gardening or woodworking?
Sorry, I said I wouldn't interrupt. Lulu is quite correct. I am confused with the ones, but I also want to add that Osmeister said that Scum is very depressing and then went on to say it's a good film, but nothing but sadness. And Mrs. Me in it quite rightly says, watch Neil by Mouth. Anyone in the glorious House of Scrubs today that hasn't seen Neil by Mouth, admittedly it's got Kathy Burke in it, and that's a shame because she's a libtard, but it's fucking brilliant. It's the story of Gary Oldman's childhood. And one of the women in it, old Mo from EastEnders, she's in it as the grandmother, but Kathy Burke plays the character that she was in real life. It's a 1 in the chat, sorry, 2 in the chat if you've seen Neil by Mouth and you enjoyed it. It's a great movie. I remember the first time I saw Neil by Mouth, I thought, okay, so British realism has I mean, this is why I get shitty unnecessarily, to be honest with you, about Trainspotting. Trainspotting is a good movie. The problem I have with it is its subject matter isn't heroin. I mean, that's a sideshow. Nothing they do has got anything to do with heroin. It's all rubbish. But it's a watchable movie, great soundtrack, lovely photography, great. But if you can imagine a movie like Kneel by Mouth telling an heroin story, it would be a bit more. It would be something very special. I mean, Requiem for a Dream, the movie, is a bit jank, which is a shame because I really like the bloke that wrote the book, old Cuffy. Cuffy. No, only two people in the world know why that's funny that I just called him Cuffy. But there you go. Yeah, Kneel by Mouth's a great movie, isn't it? And you know what? There's that scene in it where he goes to score with his grandmother and he's in the back of the van shooting up. And I remember watching that and thinking, wow, imagine things getting so dark that your mum or your nan goes to score for you and you're shooting up in the back of her car. And about 5 years after that, my mother's parked up in Brockley while I'm shooting up in the motor. I thought, great. I always wanted to be a character from Nil by Muth. Anyway, let's get back to Faucio.
Pick up some other cool hobbies?
Why is now?
Hang on a minute. I fucked it up. Fucked it, didn't I, people? I am going on for far too long. Good Lord, it's nearly 3 o'clock in the morning. Nothing's getting done tonight. I've got to get this bit of my novel done. Here we go.
Year and will no longer be the chief medical advisor to the President of the United States. So tell us, sir, what are you going to do with all your free time? Are you going to go golfing every day down in Florida? Are you going to travel the world? Are you going to get into gardening or woodworking or pick up some other cool hobbies?
Why is now the time to go?
It's never really a good time to leave, but you have to leave sometime. I have been wanting to pursue another chapter.
Maybe just before the midterms or something, or before you're getting cuffed and led off.
My career, as you mentioned
What?
a bit ago, because I've been wanting to do things outside of the government, particularly to do things, be they lecture or write, or get involved in situations where I can serve as hope and inspiration to encourage young people.
You're a fucking dreamer, Fauci. I mean, can you believe he just said that? Oh, maybe get into that and be an inspiration to young people. Yeah, okay. No, Osmice, a nice one on the donation. Big Mo from EastEnders is Gary Oldman's sister. Yeah, that was the point I was making. Because Big Mo is in Kneel by Mouth and she plays their mother in the movie. So that was the weird kind of crossover that I was getting at.
People to go into public service.
Oh, so he's going to cash in on the lecture circuit and, of course, come out with his new memoir, which his publisher will tease contains the true story of how Donald Trump caused the pandemic. So all the Democrats rush out and buy it.
You could look at January 6th on TV and you have some people who actually don't believe it happened. How could that possibly be?
What, like the whole of America? No one's saying it didn't happen. They're just questioning what it was and what happened, you pillock.
His friends in the fake news industrial complex dubbed him the most important and brilliant doctor of all time for telling lies like this.
In just one sentence, can you help me convince my friends who aren't vaccinated yet to get vaccinated so that I can invite them to my pool party?
When you are vaccinated, you are protected from getting infected, and you are protected from getting anybody else infected.
Now, you know I'm not allowed to say much about that, especially in these strike-worthy times, but I'm not sure about that. Can you imagine going on telly and saying that? Knowing though, that it wasn't true. Bastard.
Well, it turned out that wasn't true. But it is interesting how after Donald Trump left office, an old Joe took over as commander-in-chief to save America from the pandemic.
You'll enjoy that, Mark.
Mr. Fauci did start admitting the truth about some things, like all those children we kept hearing about who were hospitalized from COVID.
If you look at the children,
Rags, he's going to need that for a decent lawyer, mate.
you know, hospitalized, many of them are hospitalized with COVID as opposed to because of COVID. And what we mean by that, if a child goes in the hospital, they automatically get tested for COVID and they get counted as a COVID hospitalized individual, when in fact they may go in for a broken leg or appendicitis or something like that. So it's overcounting the number of children who are, quote, hospitalized with COVID.
Yeah, I'm getting completely confused with this kind of NLP hypnotism he's just going through there. Dennis, don't hold back, son. Paul says Fauci's a Sopranos wise guy. Yeah, he really is. And I wouldn't be surprised if he ends his life in the back of a car with 30 stab wounds in him.
As opposed to because of COVID.
Oh, so those case numbers weren't accurate. They were padded a little. And after old Joe was sworn in as president, remember how the new COVID strategy to end the pandemic was that everyone should wear 2 masks?
It's time to double up and wear 2. This morning, Dr. Fauci endorsed the idea on the Today Show.
If you have a physical covering with 1 layer, you put another layer on, it just makes common sense that it likely...
You fucking nonsense. This was, you know, this is going back to the miasma theory of germs. That what was it? I used to live next to the boozer. What was it? John. What's the boozer on the end of Lexington Street and Broadwick Street? John. He come up because of the pump on Broad. He wrote that book I told you about, the Death Map. Well, they used to believe in the miasma theory. And that's what this is. The coof was spread by droplets. And they knew that wasn't the case. Putting 2 masks, I'm not allowed to talk about it. Which tells you everything you need to know, really.
It would be more effective.
That was an odd 180-degree shift from his previous stance on masks before the Democrats realized that they could be used as a symbol of the pandemic to scare everyone.
People should not be walking. There's no reason to be walking around with a mask. When you're in the middle of an outbreak.
It's just incredible, isn't it? When you see them all lined up like this, just keep talking. Just say something. Just say something. I called this, and it's out there. It's on a Three Stooges video when Dan said to me, Chris, what do you make of this thing that's just coming out of Wuhan? I said the only virus that's coming out here is an information virus. I said, I'm not saying there's not some kind of transmittable illness. I said, but it won't be anything dangerous. I said, this is an information virus which will be used to control like they always are. And I watched that play out. That's not because I'm incredibly clever or can see the future. It's because it was fucking obvious. The timing was perfect. You know, we just had the communists take power in America, and communists communists cannot maintain power like capitalists can. Globalists cannot maintain power like nationalists can because no one likes them. They fail. They've got no long-term economic strategies because they can't value resources because they don't have a free market. It was required. It was historically necessary to reproduce the social relations already in place to maintain their power. And listening to this little shit just fuck you.
Wearing a mask might make people feel a little bit better, and it might even block a droplet.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm fucking sorry, fucking you vampire. It was just someone told us to just a couple of weeks ago.
The protection that people think that it is.
And who could forget the time he committed perjury under oath testifying to Congress about his involvement with the Wuhan lab?
Fauci should go to prison for 5 years for lying to Congress.
Agreed.
They've prosecuted other people. They've selectively gone after Republicans.
Senator Cruz told the Attorney General you should be prosecuted.
Yeah. I'd have to laugh at that.
Yeah, you won't be laughing after the next general election when you're sitting in court looking at 5 years, you dirty fucker.
I should be prosecuted. What happened on January 6th, Senator?
What did Ted Cruz even have to do with January 6th?
I know that was really unpleasant, but it doesn't take a master of body language or the psychoanalytic process to see what he was really thinking then. Have a little look at this last little gesture. Look, this is a man afraid. Watch.
January 6th, Senator.
What did Ted Cruz even have to do with January 6th? Which is still the only thing CNN and MSNBC talk about every single day, by the way. I
mean, that was an incredible... That was just the blatancy of, no, don't look over here, look over there. Rand Paul said you should be locked up because you're you're an evil, lying bastard. I mean, I'm paraphrasing. And then he went, what, me locked up? What about... what about January the 6th? They're going down, mate. They're going down. Hello, Renaissance man. Good to see you.
How Donald Trump supposedly stole the nuclear codes.
Donald Trump took nuclear documents home with him to Florida, and it took an FBI court-ordered search of his home to get those documents back.
Why the heck would the president say, I want to keep nuclear documents at a beach house?
Classified documents relating to nuclear weapons were found among the items that FBI agents sought in a search of the former President Donald Trump's Florida residence on Monday.
And many of you asked for it. It's so...
Right, we can't just keep watching Mark Dice because that's his channel. But what are nuclear documents anyway? What are they? I mean that. What are nuclear documents? Because if Trump had them, well, he could have easily read them and know them. He could have photographed them. He could have fucking Xeroxed them. It's just, this is how much the United States of Communism thinks of its people. This is like batshit 1982 Cold War. No, this is going back further than that. This is, say, nuclear. This is a sexed up dossier. Say he's got nuclear documents. Ooh, what is it? I mean, what's the book? Someone tell me. Our Man in Havana, Graham Greene. Listen, even if you're not a reader, and if you are a reader, of course, I'm a writer. Substack, link in the description. Go and sign up. It's totally free. You'll love it. 20 short stories, including a teaser for my forthcoming novel. But trust me, Scrubs, trust me. Graham Greene, the writer, he's a well-known writer. He was actually in the British Secret Services, right? He actually was. So he knows how it works. Our Man in Havana, or Havana, it's a story about a bloke who owned a vacuum cleaner shop, right, in Havana. And his daughter's getting a bit close with the local chief of police. One day, the Secret Service turn up to this bloke who owns this. I won't be spoiler alerts. One day, this woman, I think it is, turns up to this vacuum cleaner owner, this vacuum cleaner shop owner, and she's sort of like, yes, we've noticed that your daughter's quite close to the captain. If you could send us discreetly, covertly, any information gained, and blah, blah, blah. And it's really weird that almost by accident, he gets recruited as a spy, right? Now, Graham Greene and many other people who used to be ghosts, used to be in the Secret Services, said that's how it used to happen. It was so, so weird, almost James Bond-like, that people would, they didn't have a structure. It was very basic. It was very, almost innocent. They would just find people in different countries who had a shop or was like a teacher and say, yeah, can you just keep an eye on the headmaster? And so he's a spy, and he's the most reluctant spy ever. He doesn't even know what he's doing. It's such a beautiful novel. Trust me. Trust me. You'll read it in a day or two. And so he just starts blagging it, right? He just starts blagging it. And so they send him letters in code and stuff and say, you know, and he's not a spy. So he just sort of says, yeah, I saw some drawings, and he just draws parts from his vacuum cleaners and says, yeah, I found some photos of things. Look, it's so good. But the bit that makes it really good is loads of people afterwards said that was what the Secret Service used to be like. It's such a cracking book. I don't know why I got there. Oh yeah, the nuclear code, the nuclear documents. It's got, you know, it's got a bit of Our Man in Havana about it. Our Man in Mar-a-Lago. Excuse the accent and pronunciato. If anyone in the chat has read Hello Liberty et le Ciel. If anyone in the chat has read Our Man in Havana, let me know. Hello Ryan, that's it. Jon Snow, yeah. I used to live next to the Jon Snow boozer because of the water pump. Read that book as well, The Death Map. Jon Snow made a map of all the people who died of cholera in Soho. And he worked out that they all lived near this water pump. And the people who worked in the ale house, who didn't go to the water pump because they drank ale instead of water, because it was only 1 or 2% then. So you could just drink ale instead of water. Yeah, he made the death map because they believed in the miasma theory of germs, that it just floats in the air like fucking gouchy. Excuse me. Hello, Boris. Nice to see you. Right, let me grass up Boris. So in my video yesterday called How to Enjoy Life, Boris, because he knows I'm a bit of a French post-structuralist, he, just the good bits, he wrote under it, and you know, it's a little, I know it was a kind of a nice little joke between me and him. He said the French call it jouissance, which is quite a difficult, it's related to the French verb to come and sexually, jouer, but also to play. And it's to do with the poetics of pleasure. And it gets quite contrived, like most French philosophy. But so Boris thought it was kind of a joke that I'd missed it, because I should have really mentioned jouissance in my video. And he put the French call it jouissance. Unfortunately, he spelt it wrong. So under his comment, I put the French call it jouissance and spelt it correctly. And under my comment, he put, I've just downvoted this video. And then he changed. Then he edited his and put the right. He had corrected his typo. Boris. I got a touch of jouissance from that. Lumi's on the firm. Lumi, I thought you would have read Our Man in Havana. Great. It's great, isn't it? It's a great. Hello, Casa calling. He's also here. Lovely. I'm losing track of the ones as well. I don't know, Matt. I don't know. There's so much, there's so much. I reckon a lot of people could end up getting nits. I really think they could. These things do happen. It has happened. Oh, Paul, I've seen people over here. I see a bloke in a shop the other day with one. Now, the locals have been wearing masks for years. It's quite an Asian thing because they worry about pollution and that. The Japanese are very big on it, but it's more of a fashion thing for like teenage girls in Cambodia. But I see a bloke the other day with one on, and I actually out loud just went, "Oh, a mask! Oh, mask!" Right, where are we? I've got a couple more clips. It's 3:00 in the morning. Bollocks! There's not enough time in the day. Why have I got that up? I don't think there's anything I want to watch on that screen. Oh, here we go. No, I'm going to leave that for another day. Can we get away with another one from the United Spot? Yes, we can, because it's quality. Here we go, people. Here's another little smiler from you, from the United Spot. Oh, it would appear I've missed a donation from the Ozmeister. Ozmeister, I'll drag it up after this little bit from the United Spot. It's only a minute. It's a beaut as well. It's called They Finally Got Him. Let me know you've got all the arto.
Yeah, that's right. Talk dirty to me. Don't try and fight it, Trump.
Apologies, yes. Alec Guinness was in the movie of Our Man in Havana, and I have to say, it ain't a bad movie. If you're not a reader, it's quite what's the word? Loyal? That ain't the word, is it? It's quite true to the novel, I have to say. It is worth. I mean, I read the novel before I watched the movie, so I'm probably not the right person to make that comment. Hello, Pags. Nice one, Steve. That's my Substack, people. If you want to read my short stories and my teaser from my forthcoming novel, November Beckons. There you go. Ozmeister. Fauci won't get arrested. He's a Rockefeller puppet. They control everything. Now, they control what they can control, but they will throw their patsies to the slaughter if it's going to protect them. They're not going to. They won't keep Fauci off the hook if it, my point is, no one, what's the word? I'm so old. No one is expendable. There's no problem throwing Fauci to the dogs. The Rockefeller don't give a fuck about Fauci. Of course they don't. He's a useful idiot for them. Nice one on the Lady Godiva there. Let's check this out.
It's all over, Trump. You're done. I'm done? For what? You know what. Yeah, you're going to prison, Hunter. I mean, Obama. I mean, Joe. I didn't even do anything. Yeah, that's right. Talk dirty to me. Don't try and fight it, Trump. You broke the law. And now it's time to pay the piper. Yeah, this is what happens when you smoke. Delete email. Smash phones. Joe, shut up. Sorry. You got the wrong guy. No, we're the FBI. We always get the right guy. Yeah. No, you got the wrong guy. Well, your name's Trump, right? Yeah. So we got the right guy, punk. Say goodbye to your freedom, dirtbag. Yeah, this is what happens when you spy on other people's camp. Make deals with your leave people in Afghanistan. Joe, shut up! Yeah, sorry about that. Got any last words, scumbag? Yeah, actually I do. Oh, wait to hear this. Yeah, baked potatoes are just as smart as toilet paper. Well, Trump, we're waiting. Yeah, what are your last words, Trump? Wake up. What? Wake up? I think he said wake up. Yeah! Damn it! It was such a dream. Ah, damn it! Now I'll never know if the family can understand the baby.
Mutage. Listen, people, I was going to do this now, but it would have taken about 20 minutes, and I've really got to get some work done. Check out how many farmers around the world are protesting. And I'm talking about India. I'm talking about it's really kicking off in Holland. Not a lot of media coverage about this. I'm talking it's Indonesia. The Sri Lankan revolution has just happened, by the way. Yeah, what? And it's over really weird things like no more fertilizer. You can't use it. You can't use pesticides. Can't use this. Can't make food. Now, why would governments want to restrict the production of food? I mean, as I said earlier, communism can't maintain power in the way capitalism can. Because capitalism, both people do well. I'll give you some money, you give me that, we're both happy. Communism hasn't got that. It doesn't have that fundamental root where both parties do well out of a situation. And so all these, the fact that so many farmers in different countries at the moment are getting proper cheesed off because they can't farm, it's bizarre. And remember when we looked at the thing about the Italian elections? The Italian elections, the far right are going to get power again in Italy on September the 13th. almost without a doubt. They were like 30 points ahead in the last polls. You don't hear a word. You don't hear a peep. Do you remember on this channel, to find out about that, we had to watch an Indian show. An Indian show talking about the fact that the Italian parliament had just retired. They all gave up because it was a coalition that failed. And now the far-right coalition's taking over, and she's proper far-right. She's talking about putting military vessels in the sea to stop Africans getting to Italy. I haven't got a problem with that. That's their national borders. But yeah, you really have to scrape around the internet to find anything about what's going on in Italy. It's incredible. Absolutely incredible. Yeah, she's talking about putting weaponized frigates. We've all been a weaponized frigate in our time. Right, let's have a little look at this before I jump out of here. It's a little bit from Salty Cracker from the UFC. Oh, hang on. Let's have a look at what Billy's going to get me in trouble here. Oh, yeah, no, that's a good call, actually, Bill. We'll watch that. I remember we watched it at the time, but we'll just have another little look now. Cheers for the donation, Bill, and we'll have a look at this. Remember this, people.
So without further ado, let's cut to the chase and take a look at an ordinary surgical mask, and I'm using a vape. As you can see, that vape, which has aerosols the same size as COVID-19 or larger, goes through and around a surgical mask. Now, if we take a cup mask and have a good look at it, here we go. Notice it goes right through the mask easily and goes in every direction. The aerosol is not affected by the mask in any material. Now we look at a...
It's ridiculous. Let's do it live. Let's do it. Let me put that on. I think this is about the second time I've ever worn one. Oh, a little bit silence of the glands, isn't it? Oh, I quite like it. I wonder if my missus would. Anyway, here we go. Let's make sure I've got plenty of juice in there. Ludwig says too much science. Science! Here we go, people. Lovely to have 116 in here. Hey, Mark, I'm so chuffed you've got hold of that Kneel by Mouth, I think it was. You'll love it. Here we go. Go on, Ravers. I'd appreciate that. You ain't far off. They're a bit big, to be honest with you, John. Here we go. Sometimes when I'm on my scooter with my crash helmet on and I'm waiting at like a traffic light, I get my vape out of my pocket. I pull my crash helmet up a bit. I take a massive lungful, pull it back down, and then it all just comes out the eyes. Anyway, here we go. I don't think that done anything, did it? Didn't do anything. Yes, Willow. You see, there you go. I always wanted to be Rorschach. Who didn't? Good call. Well, nice one, Billy. That was appreciated. We all knew it was nonsense, didn't we? Check this bit of basin out then. This is from... It done nothing, did it, Steve? Check out this UFC fighter. This is Salty Cracker. We'll watch about a minute of it because Cracker's response is quite something. But listen to what this bloke says. And don't forget that the UFC is watched by millions of Americans. Here we go.
Secondly, Jimmy Kimmel, viral this. I fight to eradicate childhood malnutrition from the planet. And until they release the flight logs, you, the mainstream media, Hollywood, are all pedophiles to me. Eat dick.
Cock-a-doodle-doo, folks.
gonna need a cigarette after that. That's just too much testosterone for me. Give me 2 seconds, gotta check, make sure I ain't got monkeypox.
Wonderful stuff. Wonderful. These people are just having it. Right. Ain't far now. November. We've got the midterms. We've got the Italian elections on the 13th of September. We've got SUBSTACK 2 on the 14th of August. Email me, chris@chrisdangerfield.com. Put SUBSTACK in the subject. Only one song. No covers. It can be electronic music you've made on your own. You could be playing a guitar in a band or singing in a band or whatever. The last one was fucking brilliant, but please try and get them in because we had about 30 last time, but I think it was before Diazepam Gate, so we lost a lot of our musicians, so we need to show them we're still going. What's the 14th of August? September. Hang on. Hi. Literally. 14th of September. 14th of September. I've moved SUBSTACK 2 on. Sorry, people. Thank you for correcting that, Clark. Aprasha Kanatu. Give me a second. We're going to have a bit of milk because it's good for you. I want to thank Rags for supplying a lot of the clips today. I want to thank Rags and the Boy Cray for looking after the place. I want to thank everyone who donated. Without the donations, there are no streams. And I want to thank all of you lot for hanging around, for listening, for talking to me. What? Hello? No one did. Each other. That's the word I was looking for. I have been a bit knackered. I hope you've enjoyed the stream. It's been full pelt all day, and I've still got work to do. So just excuses now. Just do it and let it be. Let it be. Let it be. Let it blossom. Let it flow. Flicking bogies at the sun. Don't forget, if you're not signed up to my Substack, link in the description. You'll enjoy those stories. They're brilliant. If you read them, leave a comment. If you put your email in, the next one I write will go straight to your inbox. I write about one a month. The next one's going to be another teaser from the novel. It might even be the opening, which is... So it's a very good way of supporting the channel, and it's totally free. Bless you all, you wonderful people. I'll see you again tomorrow. You might even get 2 out of me tomorrow because I like doing them. Look after yourselves. I will be putting your comments on the screen as the music plays. This is a song called Milk from 90s band Household. Ta-ta! Boom! Right, hang on a minute. Hang on. I've missed donations. Lil Bullet, the movie Our Man in Havana is free to watch on YouTube. Thank you, Lil Bullet. Sorry I missed that. No, that's not fair. If people put their hand in their pocket, they deserve the adoration. So hang on a minute, people. There you go. Sorry about that, Bullet. I do apologise. And apparently I missed another one by RP, did I? Let me have a look. Hang on. I missed one of the most amazing super chats I've ever not seen. Hang on. This looks amazing. You might have to come on and talk about this one day. Where is it? I can't believe what I just read. I might have to go back down a couple of octaves. That's better. Where is it? That's amazing. Thank fuck I didn't miss that one. Raymond, you should tell me. Just say, oi, oi, or tell Rags or the Boy Craig because they can hit me up directly, if you know what I mean. Hello, sweetheart. Where is it? Maybe it didn't come up. That's why I missed it. I see it in Entropy when I just had a look. Wait till you see this, people. It's absolutely king of the streets. Boom! RP, 5 Lady Godive. Did time for fighting. You got locked up for fighting, you Raymond. Besides my amateur days, never ever a week went by where I didn't scrap. Ended when I became a born-again Christian at 36, 30 years ago. Raymond, would you like to come on the channel one day and talk about that period of your life? Not for a whole stream, but like a 20, 30 minute like aside. That would be amazing. I'd very much like to talk to you about that. Sorry, people, for missing your super chats. It's, you know, sometimes I'm doing 3 or 4 things. So apologinanos. But that's very interesting, Raymond. I'd like to talk to you about that. Let's get back to the milky ones. I'll take it from the top again because that's when it's that weren't quite the top, was it? Let me know you can hear it. Hello, Barney. Is it late, son?
Strand lies, bang bangs about us. Be up, be younger, good deserves now life.
We had an art one, Graham.
But last, the final
we had
sweet
2
blood
art
funnels
ones.
around us, still knee deep and wet, knee deep and wet. Carbon encrusted, mercenary trusted, a fastening vise from Tangier to metals. A lot longing, forgotten, infested, a bleak solid air between us tested. The alleyway laughs at time and half, time and half. Splash, you can't come down now, you wouldn't want to. Spy, secret, immediate, amoeba, hilarious sheen means the sun stops whining, whining. Thatched roofs, the holes of many spiders, smile so wide we look inside her. The need for me, the need for me.
Just for check, I just put the link in the chat. It's a SoundCloud link.
The arch bends both, pull strings, pulling things to mark time, arbitrary, sublime, weak of random swine. Best leave now, dear bees above the historical rub. This newfound embalming, new farming gold. This winter shade of hazy off brown knackers me. A girl I once knew nothing. A rupture suggests we better be as nothing so less than outburst in slow devotion. Slow devotion. As old rock dissolves, a shining example of love, and the need for milk, the need for milk, the need for milk, of chemical shoals that all sure withdrawals, sensitive, getting flipping, sleep you kid, it woke nothing but the need for milk, the need for milk. You came in my dream, kissed me, loved me.
tears of a baby roll down your cheek. Your eyes are wide, so look around. You've loved to give, so get it out. Get it out anytime. Love sits beside me. I feel complete. You came in my dream. I think the Kate has got a drink. Kissed me. I think it's becoming very obvious, which is fine if that's what he wants to do. But I think your eyes are wide, so look around. You've loved to give, so get it out. Get it out anytime. It's quite beautiful listening to Mumford play that guitar. As you all know, that was a first take, and we just both looked at each other. I played in the chords because I wrote it. I played just not all that picking. I can't do that. I just played in the chords. It's just a couple of variations on a C, and I sung him the melody. He said, "All right," and then I said, "We want to give it a go." He went, "Yeah, right then." So I went 1, 2, 3, 4, and he went. I thought, fucking hell, seriously, first, just off of a few chords, and he was just on it, and I just started singing it. And when we finished, I went, well, that's done then, isn't it? And then he said, we'll just do this, we'll just put this in it. Just the old Paul McCartney trick in it, slapping your lap. But I'm not trying to take anything away from your enjoyment of that, but I've got the nostalgia as well, because, you know, we were in our late 20s when we made that. And they were glorious times, you know, when you get a record contract and a publishing contract and all the other stuff that happened with it. And someone fucked it up because he liked the crack. Now go on, bugger off down your own end before you get a clip round the ear. Hoit!